It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, welcome back and hello. Oh my gosh. So I have to sit here. This is crazy. Mornings are always crazy for me. And I have to say, like, bring them out. I'm always like, what is going on? But I'm here. Guys, with the espresso and all, I'm here. So good morning and welcome back to Wake Up and Adam. Now, guys, this has been a morning show that I've wanted to start for a long time, but I figured when better to do it than the new year. So I have a lot of surprising things coming for you guys for once we hit 100,000 subscribers. I've even mentioned to you guys a little bit about it, and some of you guys are like, I don't like change. I'm like, no, listen, I understand. And I said, I think I'm going to change my logo, and I think I'm going to make it more personal, like a photo for my new shoot. And then also, I think I'm going to add a membership program. Now, when you guys were saying in the comments, Adam, I'm not paying for a membership. I like that your content is free. I don't want to pay for exclusive content. I completely understand, especially right now during the pandemic. That's not what this is for. If I do a membership, it's going to be a cheap membership just to give you guys access to exclusive emojis, badges, first comments, stuff like that. It's not going to be something where I'm branching out and only doing exclusive content. And if I do, it's going to be personal at-home content with Jason and I, not covering pop culture news. But with that, guys, this is a subscribers only live chat. We already have 110 in the room, less than 2 minutes in. Go ahead, smash that like button, show some love. And I have a funny video for you from yesterday. Yesterday, I showed you guys a couple home videos, but we've been talking so much about Vanderpump Rules and TomTom and Jason and I's time there. Now, of course, Jason and I will be covering Vanderpump Rules today at 12 p.m. Eastern. So hopefully you guys join us on Down with Jason. But I wanted to give you guys kind of a heads up and show you why I say that Vanderpump Rules, well, the original version should come to an end because it's like we're on the last leg. It's not as interesting and they should move it to TomTom. I found a video from Halloween with some of my best friends, especially at the time, and they're crazy. They all dressed up in drag. It was the funnest day. Even one of them who you see on the show, Vanderpump Rules, you see JoJo, he's always twerking. He dressed up like Lisa Vanderpump. In the background, you hear one of my friends, Taylor, say, can somebody fix my wig? So just to kick us off right and in the best mood, I'm going to go ahead and play that video. Here we go.
Can I get a glass? A wine glass? Will someone fix my wig? Oh my god. Logan! Why are you doing this again? Because I didn't have... Alright, get out of my shot. Logan, you got me? This is my Instagram post. We put the right color camera.
God, I love those guys. They're so much fun and they're always willing to do whatever, get crazy. They don't care if cameras are around or whatever it is. And guess what? They're all still trying to break into the business. They're not living in $2 million homes, so it brings you back to that authentic vibe. But I'm not here to shove Vanderpump Rules down your throat because we're doing that at 12 p.m. The theme of today is stalkers. Now, I told you guys that I have my own personal story, and I called my mom last night to see if I could share one of hers, only because it is personal, it's private, and it's intense. Now, when I was talking about stalkers, I looked up some of the most notorious celebrity stalking situations, and we had quite a few, especially from some names that you'll obviously know. Kylie Jenner, Ariana Grande, and Taylor Swift. I'm going to go through their list of stalkers because this is some next level shit that I didn't even know exists. It would make me never want to have notoriety or be famous in any capacity. And honestly, it makes me scared sometimes, not like I'm Taylor Swift or whatever, but I feel like I open up maybe too much sometimes on here. And I'm like, guys, I live right here on this floor, right across from this in this county. No, Adam. What are you doing? You need to tone it down. And I'm learning. I'm slowly learning. But one of my stalking situation stories, it's actually about my mom. And just to kind of kick us off, guys, 150 in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. And if you're in the room and you have a stalking story, I did drop the link and I pinned it up to the top. So I would love to get more callers in here for the morning show. And I know it's early and you guys are waking up, but wake up, grab some coffee and share your stories. Now, for a stalking story of my mom's, so my mom had this friend that was really enamored by her, really liked her. wanted to be with her. And my mom just had me not too long before this, and she was working on the relationship with my dad. So my dad ended up winning these tickets while my mom and him were trying to work things out. And he won these tickets on the radio to go on a cruise. He ends up going on the cruise with my mom. They left for a couple days, and us kids ended up going and staying with our aunts and uncles. Let's just say that. Now, when they did, there was this man, I'm not going to say his name, who was obsessed with my mom and showed up to our apartment complex to come see her. This person realized that my mom was not there, and the person wanted to not only let my mom know, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. The message was very clear. This person ended up sending a letter to his parents, letting him know that he was going to take his own life, showed up to our house with a fully loaded gun. And when he did, he sat out in the parking lot. And I'm sure mom's watching this right now saying, like, why are you getting emotional? But I can only think about it like I couldn't imagine not having mom. So showed up, and he had a fully loaded gun. There was a bullet in the chamber for each one of us, my dad, my mom, my brothers, my two brothers, and myself, and himself. And when he showed up, he wrote a letter. He was waiting outside in the parking lot for a couple days. I think it was like 2 days before he finally realized we weren't coming home as of yet. So once he finally got sick of waiting, he ended up writing a letter and taking his own life. And when he did, he let everybody know exactly what he came to do. Now, when my mom and my dad ended up coming back home, they picked us up. We pulled back into the apartment complex, and my brother recognized his car. So my brother's like, Mom, look who's here. We thought he was a friend. And Mom, look who's here. And my brother runs over to the car and sees that there's this man in the car laying there, covered in obviously blood. And my brother freaked out. This man came because he was so obsessed with my mom. He did not understand no, wouldn't take no for an answer, showed up and was like, if I can't have you, nobody can have you. Now, I'm not trying to start this off the wrong way and get you guys in a somber mood this morning, because my mom is still very much so here, and so am I, so is my family. But at the end of the day, I think it's important for us to realize if a situation has red flags, then pay attention. Because before it's too late, you might not have the chance to react in a situation like that. And for my mom, had my dad have not won tickets for a cruise, we might not be here. So this man works in mysterious ways. All right, guys, 206 in the room. Hold on. Let me go ahead and bring up, I see a super chat. Natalie P, good morning. You look great in white. And of course, Black Adam. Oh, okay. Thank you. Murray, my ex was my stalker. OMFG, oh my God, your mother is traumatized, all of your family. My ex became my stalker too. Oh, it was so sad and traumatic. Philly Diva, my daughter said, hi, Adam. Hi, I'm still trying to enunciate for your daughter, Philly Diva. Thankfully, he only took his own life. A lot of times they kill themselves and the ones closest to them. I know. It's a sign of God, this ticket. No, I agree. And glad we have you and your family still. Yes. All right, guys. Wow, 120 likes already. This crew is the best. Yes, you guys are. Over 200 people in the room. Jason, get out of here. Jason said, Adam is my stalker. All right. Now, before I jump into the celebrity stalking situations, and I am not Jason Stalker, trust me. Before I jump into the celebrity stalking stuff, I did want to bring up one more video to kick us off. And this was Jason and his birthday, celebrating it also at the Vanderpump's restaurant, Pump Restaurant. So happy birthday at the time to Jason. Okay. Some good memories. I feel like those were moments that you'll never get back. And when you're in the moment, you're like, I don't want to work this serving job. I don't want to do this. I feel like I could be doing so many other things with my time. And then before you know it, it's like 5 years later, 10 years later, and you realize those were some of the best moments of your life. But getting back to it, guys, let's go into the stalkers, because there's a list, an actual list of some of the craziest stalkers when it came to Taylor Swift. Now, these photos are legit chilling. So Taylor Swift had a list of stalkers, and it was, my gosh, there's Hanks Johnson. Hanks Johnson actually was outside of her Tribeca apartment building on the evening of April 17th, and a witness saw him allegedly trying to enter the building. Now, when he did, he had weapons on him, and he was claiming, I know Taylor Swift. Well, after coming back 3-4 times, they eventually arrested him, And thank God, because who knows what he was coming to do. Now, here's another guy, Eric Swarbrick. Okay, so Eric is from Texas, and he pled guilty to charges of stalking and sending threatening letters to Swift and her former record label. He was sending records saying that he knows her, he loves her, he wants to be with her, and they got more aggressive over time. Finally, he ended up showing up at her home in Nashville, and he was sentenced to 30 months in prison because the guy could not take no for an answer. Let's keep going. Julius Sandrick was another man, a 38-year-old man who was arrested outside of Taylor Swift's Beverly Hills home. Police said that he was wearing a mask and had a knife in his car, and he reportedly told police that he drove all the way from Broomfield, Colorado to visit Taylor Swift. Sandrick said that he was on probation in Colorado for firing one of his 3 handguns, and she got a restraining order on him. All right. Now there's another man, Mohammed Jafar. This is crazy. How many stalkers can you have? This makes me never want to be famous. Mohammed Jafar was arrested for stalking and burglary after he showed up at Taylor Swift's New York home 5 times in 2 months. In September of 2017, Jafar was found unfit to stand trial. In May, he was sentenced to 6 months in jail and 5 years probation, during which he will be treated at a mental health facility. It keeps going, guys. There's this man. There's this man. And what I want to understand is, are you guys missing this man in the back? This big-ass guy who's for security? Do you guys not think this guy will take you out? I don't necessarily understand where people are coming from with this crazy stuff. But before I move on to other celebrities, guys, again, I dropped the link and I wanted to hear what you guys had to say about this. We have over 240 in the room already. Let's get to 300, and let's bring up one of our callers to see if she has a stalking story or what she wants to chime in on. We're going to do the 60-second rule. That way we can keep it clean. Here we go. The timer starts now. Hi, Mocha.
Hi, Adam.
How are you?
Good. So, yeah, I have a few stalking stories.
Oh, gosh.
My ex-husband did it for the last 7 years,
Oh,
but he did it old school. Like, he did it so that you couldn't trace anything.
how do you do that?
Because he's smart and he
Oh my
knows
gosh.
people. So,
See, that's
and I
the
knew he
thing.
was doing it because he was showing up in different cars, and I said to everybody that he was, and only my mum and my sister believed me. And then he admitted it to me when he apologized to me last year.
See, that's when it gets sick. And people, we think, okay, they're not right in the head, they're stalking you, but they're also, it's still a person. They're still knowledgeable and resourceful. And if they want to get to you, that's the scariest part, is they can get to you.
Like, he found out where I was currently living, and I haven't been with that person for 7 years, so that was like a big violation of my privacy. My friend, my sister, actually had an incident that she told me about from yesterday, like a couple of days ago. And then, like, I've been stalked on and off since I was 18
Jesus.
by, like, I'd say anywhere between 5 to 15 men since I was 18.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, like, for me, I can understand it. Like, I can understand someone's mental capacity, and I understand, like, for a lot of people, it's hard to be rejected. But that is not my problem, and it's not my fault. So I don't hold on to it. And they've never, like, I've been very lucky, but they've never passed the boundaries with me either. Like, they haven't come onto my property, or they've done it from afar, or, like, through social media.
Jesus. Well, Mocha, I appreciate you sharing that story, and thank you. I mean, for even calling in. We're going to be going live, of course, like I said, 12 o'clock for Vanderpump Rules, and we're going to be taking callers. But thank you, and hopefully you're enjoying our Wake Up and Adam.
Yeah, good luck with it. Like, it's been amazing so far, Adam. Bye.
Thank you, Mocha. Bye. All right, guys. No, speaking of stalking situations, my mom's probably going to kill me because she's watching this. But I have another one. My mom's probably like, you're making me sound crazy, but it's not my mom. My mom's just a beautiful woman who has people who, I guess, want to stalk her. She was also married to another man. He's no longer here anymore. He passed away for his own reasons. But when she divorced him, we were in our apartment complex. We moved out of our house. They went through this whole divorce. And I was sitting there on MySpace at the time. My mom was laying in bed. We were watching Cops. We always watched Cops. And she's laying in bed, and I heard something outside the window. So I walk over to the window, and I peep open the blinds, and I look out, and it's my mom's ex-husband crouched down under the window looking up. And I was like, ah! Like, that was the scariest thing I've ever seen. And he ended up taking off running. My mom went outside into the alley, and she's like, where is he? And I'm like, I don't know. And he was apparently outside trying to stab her tires so she couldn't go anywhere. But again, crazy. You meet crazy people. You never know who to trust. So just remember that. Guys, before we continue on with our stalking stories, again, I dropped the links. Oh, I love this. Gee, cops, bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Yes. Okay. I do want to bring up a couple Bravo related stuff before we continue on with our stalking stories. Now, there is one Bravo related story, and Bravo Docket is covering it. Now, if you guys don't know who Bravo Docket is, you can find them on Instagram. It's these two ladies. They are lawyers, and they cover everything that's going on in pop culture legally, like kind of like our own Emily D. Baker, but they're a duo. And I've always been familiar with them, but we haven't really conversed back and forth. Now, I saw that they liked one of my photos the other day, so I reached out and I said, hey, ladies, we need to get you on. And they said, yes, absolutely, let's do it. So we will eventually have them joining us. But in the meantime, I wanted to share my screen, share this tab, the Bravo Docket tab. Okay, so on this Bravo Docket tab, you see where it says 4 of Jen Shah's co-defendants have been sentenced thus far. That's big news, because we know that Jen Shah is going to court in March. Now, Ronald Richards has been vocal about Jen Shah. We've been vocal about Jen Shah. And I actually might have an interview coming up with Jen Shah herself after the reunion. So it's going to be interesting, to say the least, especially with everything going on. Actually, that's another thing I want to know. Are you guys interested in a Jen Shah interview? Go ahead in the live chat and pop off. But in this, it says, all 4 defendants pled guilty and received varied sentences. One defendant received time served despite being at the government's Tier 1 culpability. The government sentencing memo reveals they recommend time served Memo reveals they recommended time served due severe physical and emotional injuries he suffered from in a motorcycle accident. Okay. I was like, that doesn't necessarily make sense. As a refresher, Jen Shah was charged in the case USA versus Chidi et al. There are 13 total defendants in the case. Jen Shah was defendant 11. Stuart Smith was defendant 12. Okay. Next one. If you recall, on July 22nd, the government filed a letter outlining its view of the relative culpability of the defendants in the, well, you see it, in Chidi cases. Now, Tier A was Jennifer Shah right at the top. Now, it says at the bottom, the government inserted Jen Shah's name amongst the other defendants, some who have already been sentenced, to show how they viewed her level of participation and culpability. She was placed at the very top. The tiers have no legal significance aside from reflecting how the government views the defendants' alleged levels of culpability in the scheme. They also help us with the context when viewing the sentences. Next slide. You can see where 4 of the defendants have been sentenced. And in the sentences, one is time served with $550,000 restitution. Another one is in custody for 72 months with supervised release for 5 years, plus owing $3.5 million in restitution to the victims. Another one is custody of 30 months, supervised release of 3 years, and $1.5 million restitution to the victims. And finally, there's Joseph at the bottom, who has gotten time served and supervised release for 2 years, but also $3.5 million in restitution. This is mind-blowing to me because, if anything, it just lets us know exactly where Jen Shah is standing in this situation. And of course, when I see some Jen Shah news, I go and I look up Ronald Richards to see, has he said anything about it? Do we know Ronald Richards? Of course he said something about it. He said, here is a signed joint and several restitution order against Joseph. I'm not butchering his last name. By what is Shah amazing about this is the real Jen Shah will have to pay $3.5 million plus more if she loses, as this order is joint and several to her and all other defendants, including Smith. Now, if you guys think about the $3.5 million in restitution and you add the $2.5 million legal fee retainer, that is $5 million. So not only is Jen Shah going to have to come out of this potentially serving time, she could be in debt for over $5 million, which it's not like you can go back to an alleged telemarketing scheme and go make this money quick, because the government's going to be watching every single thing that you're doing. So this is going to be interesting because she's going to court in about 2 months. And in those 2 months, I feel like it's going to be very telling. Of course, you guys know we'll be covering this with Emily D. Baker. Who better to do it with? And I can't wait because Emily has a way to break it down for all of us in a way that we can actually understand. It's something that I appreciate about her. It's a gift, to be honest with you, because I can sit there and talk to lawyers all day. I don't know shit that they're talking about. But for Emily, I feel like she takes me to school. Now, I did say for more people to call in, so I have Philly Diva in the room. We're going to, again, try to keep it to a minute. Let's see what Philly Diva has to say. Guys, 280 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. Let's get to 300, and let's hear from Philly Diva. Hi, Philly Diva.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to make this super, super quick about my, I don't want to call it my stalking story, but my brush with a stalker. Well, I was until my child just came up behind me.
Oh.
Because everything isn't meant for children's ears. Hello, Madison. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, the Philadelphia schools have shut down here because of the spike. So I am back to homeschooling and working from home. So you two, please pray with me.
Oh, I'm sending you all the positive vibes to get through this because there's no way I would be able to homeschool. I can barely take care of 4 animals, let alone a child. So more power to you, Philly Diva.
Thank you. But actually, matter of fact, since you're in here, I want to tell you this story. So I was dating a boy in college, and I ignored a lot of the signs that, you know, spend all your time with me, don't go to any parties, you're so awesome, we should all be together, it's just me and you all the time. And I ignored those signs. And then this is before cell phones and text messages. So when you see somebody just kind of chilling at your dorm who doesn't go to your school, that should have been my red flag there. So, you know, without scaring my kid, you know, you just got to pay attention to the signs that somebody wants to spend all of their time with you. They need you, that constant needing. It was just very, very weird to me and scary to me that, you know, somebody was just knew where I was before social media, before text messages and cell phones. This is in the 90s. So well, you know, we had cell phones, but people wouldn't call you until after 9 o'clock when the minutes were free. So
I remember those days. Yes.
Right. Yes. So
those are bad days. I can't live.
Well,
yes.
I'm sure you couldn't.
Those are bad days.
So you know, it was just very, I know you can't live without Wi-Fi. So those were just, you know, kind of very scary, you know, just things that I didn't really pick up on, but I picked up on. You know, it could have been a lot worse for me, you know, than it is for some people. So unfortunately, I can't get into the details now because I have to go be a mom. So good morning.
Listen, thank you for even calling in and sharing that tidbit. We understand you have to go be a mom. Tell your daughter we said hello. I'm trying to enunciate for you, and we'll see you hopefully super soon.
Yes.
Good luck with the homeschooling.
Thank you.
All right, guys, 300 people in the room. You guys are the best. Go ahead, smash that like button. We're only 23 minutes in. We have more callers with more stories, and of course, we're going to share them. But I did want to know, again, what you guys think about this Jen Shah stuff. If you had to guess in the live chat, and I don't want to guess on somebody's fate, but what I do want to see is if there's anybody in here, because with over 300 people in the room, there has to be, you know, you don't really know who's watching. Sometimes we have authors, we have publicists, we have lawyers, we have people who work in a grocery store. You just don't know who's watching. But if you guys are in the legal field at all, I want to know what you think based off of these other defendants, their sentencing, what Jen Shah's sentencing, if she is found guilty, because she has not been found guilty, what it would look like. And also, I really hope I can get that Jen Shah interview. But we have another stalking story. I feel it in my bones. I am going to bring up Krista Marie. Hi, Krista.
Hey, guys. How are you, everybody?
Good morning.
Morning. Okay, stalking story. So a friend of mine was dating this guy. He was married. They dated for about 20 years. I guess you call him she was the mistress. And the person, like, the people that he affiliated himself with. It was like a motorcycle gang called the Pagans in New Jersey. And last May, okay, so fast forward 20 years, she's not with this person any longer. She changes her life and decides to, go to the straight and narrow, marry the complete opposite of who this person is. He is completely out of her life for 5 years. About 2 years ago, pops up in the town that she lives in, randomly, act like he was asking for directions, whatever, and spent 6 months stalking her and trying to basically ruin her marriage. And then in last May, he actually shot up the house, and now he's in prison for attempted murder. Yeah, he shot up his ex's house. Yeah. I have
That's another good point, Krista. The fixation, it doesn't go away overnight. And sometimes when people think that they're safe and it's 3 years, 4 years, 5 years later, you don't know, that person could wake up and be like, this person ruined my life. They made me go stir crazy. They know what they did, and I'm gonna make sure if I can't have them, nobody can have them. And they go crazy.
And the thing was, this person knew that that there was no way in a million years that they were going to be together, because obviously they left him for a reason. He was an outlaw, and he ended up doing exactly what everybody would be afraid he was going to do. And when you punish somebody because they got married, that's basically what he was doing, punishing the person for getting married, and not it's just, yeah. So shoots up the house, and then it was on the news, it was all over the news, and shot up the house. And then when he was not quarantined, when they had the SWAT team outside, whatever, so he was held up inside, and then when he came out, he attempted to pull the gun up. He was going to try to do it. Suicide by cop, but they ended up tackling him before they could. He always said that if a situation like that he would either commit suicide or he would do suicide by cop, because he's just never lived a life that was it was just a bad life. So he's actually still sitting in the county. I think he's going to be sentenced pretty soon, but they never. So the attempted murder charge stayed. The assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, 4 stalking charges. Yeah, just pops back up in this girl's life who took 5 years, 6 or 7 years to basically crawl herself out of the gutter, and make better choices and better decisions for herself. And then this guy just pops up, and come to find out, he actually lived he was living in this town, and he had just gotten out of prison again. He had just gotten out a month prior to that. And not that person thought he was a threat, not at all, ever in a million years thought that he would be a threat at all. But something happened to him, I guess, when he was away.
Something clicked.
He just, he went more nuts. And I think the drug that he was doing when he came out didn't help either. He has kids and everything. It's one of those things that I have to literally every day thank God that I'm alive, because,
you never know.
You never know. People just do what they want. And it's people would say, you be careful, be careful, be careful. And I'd be like, no way, he's not that. No way, he would never do anything like that. He's not like that. He's crazy. He's an outlaw and all that, but he would never shoot somebody's house up or try to, yeah.
Well, Krista, listen, we've all been through something, and I hate that for your friend, but I thank you so much for sharing that story, because if anything, I hope anybody listening to this, if they have something in their mind where they think, okay, there's a red flag over here with this person, I hope these stories help people kind of realize it's not always a joke.
I know, and no, it was probably when you say a moment in your life where it has changed, the moment that has changed your life forever, that actual moment when you're sitting in it, that is such a surreal moment. And it makes you realize how
crazy people are.
Yeah, it's not, and then I also worry about even being on here. Not that I have any, I don't have any stalkers, but I was, not that, my family's name is not very popular or whatever, but like I worry about that too. I thought about that. I'm like, is this really a good idea that I'm putting my face on, like,
Listen, I think about it all the time. I'm like, ah! And even sometimes, well,
I would love it if people were like, hey, you're the girl, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that good stuff, like it's not a secret. It's a small town. It's a small state that I live in. So, it's not hard to find me, but
Right. Well,
God, I feel like I'm like Debbie Downer.
No, you're not Debbie Downer. No,
are dark. My stories are dark.
Listen, it was a darker topic. It was a more heavy topic for sure. But thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story. I'm going to go ahead and take some more callers, and hopefully we'll see you for our Vanderpump Rules recap.
Yes, I will be there.
All right. Thanks,
Bye, guys.
Guys, these stories are crazy. 315 in the room. Let's see if we can't get to 400. We're 30 minutes in. Wow. These stories are just mind-blowing. I'm going to bring up another caller. We have Kendall in the room. Kendall, are you ready? Hi, Kendall.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi. I've not personally had a stalker, but do you remember My Sister Sam television show? Pam Dauber and Rebecca, I can't remember her last name, but that little girl, the guy stalked her, and then she went and answered the door, and he killed her at the door.
Oh my gosh.
That was the worst stalking incident that I can remember. And it was a great show. Pam Dauber's like Mark Harmon's wife.
Is this based on a real show? Or a real story?
No, yeah, it is a true story. And the girl's name, Rebecca, was her little sister in the TV show. She's the one that had the stalker, and they couldn't, I'm sorry, I keep moving my phone. And they didn't do anything about it. And then she went to answer the door. He found out where she lived. She went to answer the door, and he shot and killed her right there at the door.
Jeez. It's crazy because I always watch like Fear Thy Neighbor and Wives with Knives and Investigates when I'm not watching Bravo. And see and Jason's always like, why are you watching this? This is such a downer. And I'm like, no, because I don't know. I feel like I've had so many situations in my life with my parents, my brothers, my sisters, where we've had like next level crazies around. And in some weird effed up way, you feel like you can kind of relate to it, but you don't want to relate to it. It's something that's so scary. And once you realize that somebody is on your trail or somebody is fixated on you, I don't know, especially depending on your living situation, if you're living at home alone or with a small child or with your elderly parent, I don't know if you ever find ease or comfort in your situation until you know that person is put away.
I don't think that anybody could. Being as empathetic as you can be, you still can't put yourself in their shoes because there's no way that you know how they feel because it hasn't happened to you. All I know is that we need stricter laws and people need to really start being kind, and we start being more of what they say, a brotherhood. It takes a village, but it takes a village for the whole country, not just our babies.
Next level I have another family member who was married, and when they got a divorce, she had to file a restraining order on her husband because he pulled out weapons on her. He was showing up at her work, and when she got a restraining order on him, the police and the court said, this is all you can do. We can get a restraining order, and then if he violates it, then you can call me. She's like, he's violating it. And they were like, well, ma'am, he's not here. Do you have proof? And at the time, we didn't have iPhones and stuff. And she's like, I don't have proof, but he's violating it. And they're like, there's nothing we can do. And finally, he showed up one day waiting outside in the parking lot for her. And she caught him. She found out that he was outside because her kid said, Mommy, look. And when
my God,
the guy didn't know that she knew he was outside. So she was able to call the police. They ended up arresting him and found out that he had a whole car full of weapons. So you just don't know. I'm getting chills right now from this. This is crazy.
Well, even when you have a PFA, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. That's just a expression
it matters,
of mine.
but it's not really.
It's like when they show up, what are you going to do? Throw a piece of paper at them?
Yeah, and if they don't care about a piece of paper, that's the scariest part. If they don't care, and if they feel like, you know what, my life is over, if I can't have you, like the same thing with that crazy story with my mom. when they start feeling like my life is better off, like if I can't have you, nobody can have you, I'll just take your life, take my life. And they're at that point, a piece of paper, a restraining order is not going to do anything. That person needs some serious help. They need to be in like a mental institution. They have to be arrested. It's next level. So
medication, therapy, have them restrained until they're not a danger to anyone else or themselves.
Yes.
So
Kendall,
thank you very much for letting me
you.
join your show. And I love the new format. Thank you very much. Have a great day, honey.
Hey, you too. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. All right, guys. So again, almost 350 in the room. Go ahead, smash that like button. I'm going to move on just because we were saying some celebrity stories. And there was another celebrity story that got my attention, and it has to do with Kylie Jenner. Now, Kylie Jenner also had a stalker, and it was pretty terrifying. Where is she? Where are you, our sweet little Kylie Jenner? Here she is, and here's her stalker. So the man actually showed up to her house multiple times, and he said apparently that he's friends with her. He ended up jumping the gate, and she actually came face to face with him. And she told him, when I confronted him, he asked to see me and stated that he had, flowers to give me. And I informed him that he was going to be arrested for trespassing by LAPD. Well, he didn't care. And then she eventually came out and said, I've been informed by my private security that he has come to my home attempting to see me on numerous occasions. On each occasion, Mr. Mesgen has been asked to leave and not return, but he continues to come to my home. I don't know how long he has been stalking me, but he has been persistent in attempting to contact me and see me over the last 2 months. She said, I have no relationship with him and I am in constant fear for my safety. Well, the man was actually eventually arrested and then let out on a bond immediately. And that's the thing, like when we're talking about laws for stalkers, and I understand each state is different, but how can you not take this? Like, I don't know anything about the legal system as far as like what the laws are, how to effectively change them, only because it's not my realm. But in my mind, I understand you have to weigh out the options and people can be falsely accused. But when you're getting people who are so obviously out of their mind, you have your security team who has footage of this person constantly showing up to your house. They're jumping your gate. They're trying to get into your home. How are you going to let that person out on a bond? That makes absolutely no sense to me. He has the eyes of a killer. Yeah, I mean, it's scary. Guys, again, I'm going to go ahead and drop the call-in link. Storm Doris. Storm, you always call in for Jason, and I never see you. So we got to fix that. All right, but now getting back to it, listen, there's a lot that's going on right now, especially with Bravo. I want to kind of make this a little bit of a lighter mood unless you guys are calling in. But I want to talk about everything that we have to look forward to in the next couple of months, because there is a lot to look forward to. So this isn't all sad, especially with my 4 shots of espresso. I can't be in a somber mood. I have a lot of work to do today. We have pre-records, we have lives. Yeah, I can't let these stalker stories take me down. Don't worry, tomorrow we'll go with, like funniest moments or most embarrassing moments. Something to like keep it like, hey, good morning, and not like, good morning. You know what I mean? That's the espresso talking. Sorry. I feel like I just had an exorcism or something. But we do have a lot of exciting stuff coming out for 2022, and I can't wait. Now, in the Bravo world, we have the Real Housewives of Dubai coming. That's going to be amazing. And I know it's caused a lot of controversy. We talked about it on Hot Messy Topics, where some people have said, I am not watching that because they have certain laws. They exhibit modern day, don't need to say the word for the algorithm. There's a lot that happens in Dubai, and I'm not here for it. And I understand where people are coming from, but I guess I look at it from this very cotton candy lens and, this kind of positive glass half full way, thinking, well, if we allow the Bravo cameras into Dubai and we showcase these women's opulent lifestyles and we get even more attention, because everybody knows Dubai, but we get even more media attention on it, maybe that could be the effect that they need in order to exhibit change. Because think about it, Lisa Vanderpump on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she ended up using her platform to stop people from having dog meat festivals, like from actually taking these poor dogs and slaughtering them and eating them, selling them, whatever. She stopped a whole movement of this, of these crimes happening. And that was because she used her public platform. You don't know, how effective this could be with your reach on social media, however many people are watching you. If you have a voice, I think you should use it no matter how big or small. because you never know if you're going to cause change. Now we have another caller. Again, guys, over 350, go ahead, smash that like button, show some love, and let's bring up Deborah Lopez. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Adam. Good
Good
morning.
morning. Good morning.
I wanted to tell you my stalker story. I had left a abusive husband after 24 years, and it wasn't easy. I had my 13-year-old son with me, and the county won't help you if you have a teenager with you because they want to separate you. So I had to get help from family members to get a place, but he somehow found out where I lived, and when I was going out to my car, he tried to kidnap me. And my son heard me yell, and he came out there and, grabbed my arm away from him, and we went inside. We called the police. They didn't do anything, even though I had a restraining order, because they have to be there and catch them.
Is that not the dumbest rule ever?
It is stupid. And he knew that. So, they don't protect women. Women are not safe when it comes to calling law enforcement and getting assistance. I had a 24-year marriage. I took 3 years for me to get a divorce in a no contest state just because he used things to, delay it. And I almost lost my job at work. Good thing my boss was my friend, because, you can only miss work so much. And he knew that. He got into my job, HR department, tried to get me fired. So then I had to tell them. So that's further embarrassment, and the workplace isn't really supportive either. So I had a lot of avenues I had to cross. And actually the judge gave me permission to go into hiding. And back in 1999, that was very unusual. He gave me permission to go into hiding, and he gave me a restraining order for the rest of my life. And just recently, so I got divorced finally in 2003. Just recently, I went to a friend's funeral who he's not talked to them since the year 2000. He moved a great distance away. And I told them, is he going? Because they did a Facebook thing, and they wouldn't tell me because it's like they don't believe that he would be like that anymore. And I told them I'm not safe. I told them I've known him for 24 years. I know how he is. And, we'll protect you and this and that, which they had no clue. And I'll
Protect you? What's going to stop him from following you?
I don't know. Well, and I'm remarried, and so is he. And his wife didn't even know he was there. He used the excuse of his brother that lived in the town. And he came up to me. He went up to her, the widow, and he came right up to me. He touched my elbow, and I was talking to her grandson, and I went, oh, hell no. And I started, walking away because my husband was on the other side of the room. Good thing, because there would have been a real problem. And her daughter almost did like a linebacker and said, I got you, and pushed him away and talked to him. And later on, she told me that he just told her that he was just there for a few minutes because he wasn't there for the funeral. He was there because he knew I would be there. And the sad part is these people that had known me 35, 36 years were upset that I disappeared for 10 years. And then I came back, didn't really believe me that he'd do that.
They didn't understand.
No. And I tried to tell him, you guys don't get it, because you weren't in my shoes. You don't, we get it. No, you don't,
Yeah.
And it's sad because you need support and you need people to believe you, and laws need to change.
Oh, well, Deborah, I'm sorry that happened to you. And again, thank you so much for sharing your story, because I'm sure there's somebody watching who might be in a similar situation, and you never know who you could be helping by doing that. And I know that this is, again, a little bit more of a heavier topic. I promise you tomorrow I'm going to share embarrassing videos and talk about embarrassing moments. So it'll be a little bit lighter, but thank you, Deborah.
No, it's a conversation that needs to be had. Some conversations are ugly, and this is one of them.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, if anything, there are crazy people, there are a dime a dozen, and they're all over the place. So you never know. And
that's right.
If someone's exhibiting red flags, then hey, pay attention.
That's right. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you, Deborah. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. So sorry that happened to you. Yes, sometimes you have to hide. Oh my gosh. Love you, Adam, but I can't listen to this topic any longer. It's triggering my PTSD. Oh, I understand, guys. Again, I'm not going to continue. I was thinking about this. We just launched this morning show, Wake Up, and Adam, that's me. We just launched this on Monday. So this is our third show. And in doing so, I was trying to figure out topics that would be interesting to listen to while we wake up in the morning. Now, for me, I understand I'm one of those weirdos who like wake up and I'm like, investigates. But not everybody's like that. Some people wake up and they want feel good, like, good morning, with like cotton candy kind of topics. And I'm here for that too. I like both. Okay. Jason's one who can't do heavy topics in the morning. I'm on the other end of that spectrum. But since we're still talking about it and we're not going to be back to talk about it again, I just remembered another stalking story that I had. My friend Chelsea, who just got her wings after Thanksgiving, she passed away. When she did, we were in college together in Tennessee and we worked at Ruby Tuesday. I don't know what this Ruby Tuesday thing was, but I was like the king of Ruby Tuesday. I got my brother hired, my roommates hired. I got 4 roommates hired, 2 sisters hired, 1 brother hired, and somebody I went to college with. And when I did, I would go everywhere with my best friend, Chelsea. Now, she always knew in the back of her head, she's like, why don't you like me? Why don't we date? Is it because? And she always assumed, you know, maybe Adam's gay or something like that. But I wouldn't admit it, especially not in Tennessee. There was no chance in hell I was telling anybody, especially kind of to protect myself in the moment. That's how I felt. But there was this guy that was obsessed with her, and he saw all of the photos of us together. We went to vacation in Florida. I mean, she was my best friend. She went everywhere with me. And when he did, he put like a hit out on me. He was like, he texted her and said, let him know I'm going to break every tooth in his mouth. Like, he's got it coming. I'll kill him. And I'm like, no, Chelsea, let him know. There's nothing happening. She let him know numerous times and he was not believing it. So one day he thought we were both working at Ruby Tuesdays at the same time. I actually gave my shift to Chelsea that morning because we went out to the Electric Cowboy the night before. That was a mess. And Adam could not make it to work the next morning. So when Chelsea showed up to work to start her shift, the restaurant just opened. And here he comes, door slammed open, like wielding a wrench. It was legit a wrench, threatening to kill her, asking, where's Adam? Saying, I'll show up to your apartment. And then Chelsea calls me and says, where are you? I said, I'm at home. She said, stay in the house and do not answer the door. He's crazy. He's going to show up there. And I was like, Chelsea, I'm going to call the police. I can't deal with this. This guy's double my size. He'll ruin my life. And she's like, I know, Adam, it's not safe. Don't go outside. And I can't believe I forgot about that story, but Chelsea wouldn't let him touch me. And like I said, she's got her angel wings now. So I have a guardian angel. She didn't let people mess with me then. And now I know she's not going to let people mess with me now. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link again and see if anybody else wants to call in and share any stories. Hold on. Let me drop this. Barry said, this is important, Adam. Don't stop. We need to hear this. Thank you to the thank you. Young people need to hear this too. I agree. JG said, I predict people are going to get stalked way more now since the pandemic started. People are lonely and going crazy. That's the thing. It's like people, you especially going stir crazy, sitting in your emotions and your feelings, being at home. Not a lot, you know, some people don't have roommates. They don't have anybody living with them. So when you're sitting within 4 walls, you're like, what do I do? And some people that's not healthy for, but okay. I wanted to bring up another stalking situation, and this is with our girl, Ariana Grande. Now, Ariana Grande was at her Hollywood Hills home, and she ended up getting a 5-year restraining order on a man who was outside of her Hollywood Hills home, saying that he loved her, okay, wielding this knife. This is the knife right here, wielding this knife around and saying, if he can't have her, nobody can. Now, it wasn't just one time that he showed up. He showed up, I believe it was 2 or 3 different times. And when he did, he got so close to the house every single time. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the Hollywood Hills. Very, very easy to get access to houses. Very easy. You drive around, you go through. It's like they're not, for the most part, gated communities. You go into Beverly Hills, you might get like a front gate where you have to go through security. But Hollywood Hills, they're just legit sitting off the side of the hill on these windy roads. They have like the most uninteresting entrances. And then you walk into the house and it's like, boom, look at my mansion with the view. I got Malibu over there. I got the hills. I got downtown. The point is, it's very underwhelming outside. Outside is easy to get to. You can get to anybody's gate for the most part. And that is terrifying, especially for a celebrity. I remember one story where Kendall Jenner, she had a home that she sold off of the Sunset Strip. And I was just on the Sunset Strip. I had my hotel there when I flew to LA last month. And her house was right above a place called Chateau Marmont. Now, she pulled out of Chateau Marmont. Her driver, well, she didn't have a driver. She drove herself, and she pulled into her house. The gate opened, and as she pulled in, she looked in her rearview mirror and she saw somebody dressed in a hoodie scurry behind the SUV, and she panicked. So she locked the doors, and she ended up, the gate was closing behind her, and she ended up trying to reopen the gate, and the guy was pushing against the gate. And then as soon as he realized the gate wasn't going to stop opening, he started banging on her car. She called all of her friends that she was just with at Chateau Marmont, and they came, rushed immediately there, were there within 5 minutes, and actually detained the guy before police got there, and the police ended up arresting him. But imagine had she have not seen this man, okay? Imagine had she have not seen him, and he would have gotten access to her, and she would have got out of the car. What would you have done? If you're crazy enough to sit outside of somebody's home and bum rush them, what would the man have done? I mean, I think another ridiculous and crazy story that I think we probably all know about would be Kim Kardashian. If you guys remember her Paris story, the guys who ended up, like tying her down and stealing her jewelry, the whatever Panthers, I think they called themselves. It was like a whole group of guys. They were planning this attack on Kim Kardashian for years. They were actually supposed to get her a time previously before that time when she was in Paris, but they realized that Kanye West was with her and they didn't want anybody else in the house. So when she went back to Paris Fashion Week, she ended up going into the hotel. They knew exactly where she was, and her sisters went out to a party that night, and they took Pascal, who was her security guard. She said, Pascal, go with them. You can protect them. I'm fine here alone. I'm in the hotel. The guys knew because the sisters, Courtney, Kendall, they were all posting on social media in real time. So the guys knew that the coast was clear. That's when they rushed into the hotel. They grabbed the guy at gunpoint at the front desk, and they said, open her room. And the guy came, he opened the room, and he just looked at Kim and was like, I'm sorry. They were going to kill me. And what a traumatic event. Tying her up, she thought it was going to be way worse. She thought she'd never see her kids again, and she didn't have any clue that anybody was even watching her. Now, the Kardashians have been very vocal about it, and they never post in real time. Guys, 400 in the room, go ahead, smash that like button. They never post in real time. I feel like that is extremely important. We see people all over, the internet, and I even talk to my family about this, parents. When we go on vacations, 9 times out of 10, if both of us are going to be gone, Jason and I, well, now we live in an apartment complex, so it's easier. I don't care to post, but living in a house or something that's a little bit more accessible, I won't post my vacation photos until I get back. You're not going to know that I'm not at home because I don't want you breaking into my home. And there are a lot of people, predators, who watch people's accounts to see, are they home? Are they not home? There was actually another moment, guys, where I had this best friend. Oh, this is always story time. Hold on, let me see what you guys are saying in the live chat. Don't post anything you do, guys. Yes, I agree. Then there was another pop star around the 80s, 90s that was killed as well by her stalker. I agree. I mean, this is crazy. I never post in real time. I learned that from the Kardashians. Guys, I'm dropping the link. Call in, even if you want to talk about what's coming up on Bravo in 2022, whatever. If you guys want to call in and join the chat, you can. I'm just going to keep giving stories in the meantime. But there was another story that came to mind. I was at my house in Tennessee, and we had a tri-level house. So not 3 stories. It was like 5 steps going down to the bottom floor. There was a master bedroom, another bedroom, and a laundry room. 5 steps going up, and it was a kitchen, a living room, and a dining room. And then 5 more steps going up, and there was like 3 more bedrooms. But it sounds big. It wasn't that big. It was just tri-level. Now, my bedroom was up on the top floor, and I had my best friend Blake at the house with me. And I was coming down the stairs. I was trying to sneak out of my house because, well, I'm in middle school, high school at the time, and I think, hey, I can get away with it. It's Tennessee. Nobody's going to catch me. And as I'm going down, my dad, at the time, my dad is like legit. He could rip a house down and put it back together. He's so crafty, and so is my stepmom. He ends up tearing out this wall that we had. It was a sliding glass door wall, and he's tearing this out and extending so we can have a bigger dining space. Well, the sliding glass door was still there while he was extending it, but it was all open where somebody could get into it. Now, we're walking down the stairs and I hear a noise, and there's this man who's actually pushing himself through the sliding glass door, was so drugged up. Come to find out, it was one of our neighbors and the dad of one of my best friends from school. We busted him cold turkey. I screamed. I've never screamed so loud. It was, honestly, talk about traumatizing. This is something that was traumatizing because I can remember it. And when I screamed, he fell out of the sliding glass door and his boot fell off. He grabbed his boot, but you could see the imprint in the actual mud. So what do? Once I saw the face and I figured out exactly who it was, the next day, 13-year-old Adam and his best friend decided to go over to the house and were like, hey, what were you doing last night? Did you have a good time? Did you guys go out, do anything? And I'm questioning this grown-ass man, like, what am I going to do if he says something? I don't even know what I was thinking. As a kid, I feel like, you know how when we go on vacation or we go in the ocean, we'll jump in the water and the parents will say, there's sharks in the water. And you're like, I don't care. And now as an adult, I'm like, I'm not getting in that water. If I can't see my feet, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm not getting bit by jaws. No, ma'am. I feel like as you get older, you start getting a little bit more fearful and less fearless. But I just saw, Nina, I saw that you were in the call-in. Go ahead and call back in and I will bring you up if you'd like. Lisa in the cold. Melissa B. Yeah, I saw it in the documentary. It was so easy to get info back then. Terry, your family sounds unlucky, Adam. Just joking. I mean, and Joe Mendoza said, how did that scream sound like, Adam? I'm not redoing that for you. You're shady, but I appreciate it. Comment thread said 300 likes. Adam deserves it. Hey, guys, continue to go ahead and smash that like button. Now getting back to 2022 and things that I'm so excited for. Another thing that I'm, something that I can't wait for is I love a good come up story and seeing somebody come out on top. Now, we've talked about this. There's a new Love and Marriage coming, not just Huntsville, but to the DMV. I wasn't really watching Love and Marriage Huntsville because, to be honest, I have 5 million other shows that I need to watch in order to get through the week because we talk about so many. But once I found out that Monique Samuels was heading Love and Marriage DMV, I was like, wait a minute, you got my attention. I didn't realize that not only is she heading it, she's responsible for putting together the crew, the cast, and now she's catching shade from some of her fellow former Real Housewives of Potomac. Looks like somebody might be jealous. But my thing is, Monique ended up walking away from the show because they were talking about her family and she wasn't comfortable with that. And not only did she walk away from the show and she said, I don't need this petty paycheck, she ended up taking herself to the OWN network, Oprah Winfrey Network, and got a whole different show where she's kind of part of the center focus. Her and her marriage with Chris, which Jason and I, we've said this before, have met up with them a couple times and they're absolutely amazing. I can't wait to see this and I cannot wait to cover it. It's going to be something that's so new for me. And it's something, honestly, what better? It's 2022. So might as well switch things up a little bit. And then, of course, we are getting our Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2. I can't wait for that. I wonder what else is coming and if they're going to be doing a reboot on Dallas and if they'll be bringing it to Peacock. I feel like if they do, it's going to be some time in between, but I don't actually know. I don't know. But guys, I do want to ask you a couple questions because we are going to start wrapping up soon. We do have another live coming up today at 12 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on Jason's channel, Down with Jason, to talk about last night's episode of Vanderpump Rules. Speaking of being locked up during the pandemic and going stir crazy, I don't know if you guys saw James Kennedy's reaction last night, but it was next level. Ridiculous. So we're going to be breaking all of that down. But what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, go ahead and comment below and let me know some topic ideas, like some things that are a little bit more lighter and more fresh for the morning time. That way, when we wake up, we can wake up on the right foot. Now, if you guys want our most hilarious moments, some embarrassing moments, workplace moments. I almost burned down Panera Bread when I was working there. Oops. It all started with a bagel. I can explain it. We have some funny stories, and I know you guys do too, and I would love for all of us to wake up and share these stories. Just start off our day, kick it off in the right way, the best way possible. I've already had my 4 shots of espresso. I'm sure we have a couple pre-records to do today. We have more lives, and yeah, let the day begin. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything that we have coming up. Also, guys, thank you to our super chats. Thank you to our mods. Thank you to our callers. It's not easy to open up, especially about a story when it concerns somebody being stalked. So thank you guys for opening up and sharing your stories. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure everybody else watching. It's not an easy thing to do. You guys are the best. Oh, we have one more caller. Hi, Nina.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my God. Okay, Adam, I don't have a story or anything to share. I just wanted to say that I'm super proud of you, super proud of your channel.
Well, thank you.
I used to watch you on a more bootleg show, and then I followed you over when you made your way to your own channel. So
I
yeah,
couldn't imagine what you're talking about, but thank you.
yeah. I actually called in one time, and I only used to follow them because you were there. I feel like you kind of gave their channel a little bit of validity, but that's neither here nor there.
Thank you.
But yeah, you're doing great. I'm just working right now, and I'm watching, and just keep going. We love it.
Hey, Nina, since you're on here, what do you think, especially because we did take a little bit of a heavier turn today, do you think tomorrow we should do embarrassing and funny stories, maybe workplace stories?
Yeah, for sure. Because it's a little early for
For such a dark topic. Yeah. Heavy topic.
Yeah, but regardless, whatever. I'm here. I'll watch whatever you do. Especially when I saw you on the Shade Room, I was like, Adam made it. Like I told my sister, I'm like, yo, Adam's on the Shade Room. Like, and then you had an interview with Tasha K. So I'm just like, I'm just loving the level up.
Oh, thank you. Tasha K is actually going to be coming back on soon. So I'm excited about that. She's all over the place. She's like down in Miami. She's traveling. And of course, we know Tasha's so busy. I just saw where Heather McDonald mentioned us on the Juicy Scoop podcast. So I've been talking back and forth with her. She's crazy busy, but we're going to be having her on soon. Hopefully we have a Jen Shaw interview coming up. I just spoke with her recently. So we're going to try to, I have to top, listen, the Fallon interview for me for 2021 was probably my biggest interview because of all of this, how like kind of stir crazy everything went. And it got picked up.
Not to mention you were like one of the only people that had like a one-on-one sit down with her. So
yeah,
it was a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you. Deal. And now I have to top it. I'm like, after that happened, I got my Kathy Hilton interview and I was like, oh, I love Kathy. So this, at least because I knew doing the Kathy Hilton interview, it would give some more validity to my channel, because if I can snag that, then other people, when I reach out for interviews, they'll be like, oh, Kathy, did an interview maybe. So okay, let's see what this guy's about. But I can't wait. Hopefully this year we get an even better interview, a bigger interview. I don't want to say better, but a bigger interview, and we keep on moving up. That's the goal.
Yeah, and then one day you'll have your own show. And
whoa! Hey,
honestly,
you're good for the guy.
Yeah, no, I'm a total fan. Like I live in Canada, so like I catch your lives like all the time, and I'm like, you know what, this guy, like I remember again when you're on the bootleg show, so I'm just like, no, he's on the up and up. And I do really appreciate and respect your decision to not go into the Mary Cosby stuff, because that's also like if I want to watch something about conspiracy theories and all that, I'll go to like my deep dive dark channels. But I love how this channel is fun and light, and you have an awesome community. So yeah, just keep doing you, Adam. Don't change.
Thank you, Nina. I appreciate you. This was so good for the confidence boost this morning, and thank you for helping me start off my day the right way. I appreciate you.
No worries. Take care.
All right. Hopefully we get to hear from you soon.
Yes. I'll try and call in. I'm really shy, so I'll try and call in like when I can.
Okay. Well, you don't have to be shy around here, but thank you, Nina. Have a great day.
All right, bye. By the way, you're glowing. I love it. Drop the skincare routine.
Hey, Jason said that yesterday. He said, you need to do a skincare routine. And I said, Jason, that's not my channel. I don't want to do that. He's like, okay, well, I'm telling you. And I'm like, Jason, you go do a skincare routine. But
maybe you can do like little shorts, like on your Instagram and stuff, like a little reel. I don't know. Maybe I should be in charge of like giving you little seeds to your message, because I feel like I can message you little things to do, because I feel like you have a look to you that have a lot of young people wanting to follow you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe you can do like little reels and stuff but anyways.
Hey, listen, if you ever come up with an idea, I'm always here for it. I mean, you can always message me, DM me on Instagram. I will see it and I will get back to you. I appreciate you even just taking the time and shooting me over ideas. I love hearing from everyone.
Awesome. Take care. Have an amazing day, and I'll watch her live at noon.
Have an amazing day. Bye, Nina.
Bye.
All right, guys. Wow, what a great way to end. 400 people in the room. Nina giving us some good support, some ego confidence boost. I mean, no ego here, but confidence boost. Boost Adam. Hit the like if others are up. Okay. And then I've been begging Jason to do the skincare routine. Adam does respond, and so does Jason. Thank you. Love Adam and Jason, but no Jen Shaw, please, Adam. Okay. And Philly Diva up and Adam, can I get a follow for my birthday? Yeah, what do you mean? I'll follow you right now while I'm on here. Hold on. Is it just at Philly Diva? Let me just do this while I'm on here. At Philly Diva. Philly Diva, I need you to message me, slide into my DMs, and I'll follow you right now. All right, guys, don't forget, smash that like button. Thank you so much to everybody. We will be back shortly. I love you guys, and I'll see you so very soon. Bye, guys. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, and happy birthday, Philly Diva. Happy birthday. And yes, let's get Adam to 100K by the end of January. All right. I'm screaming for you, Philly Diva. Yay. Okay. Bye, guys. Love you.